This is PJ Souls, and you are totally listening to Without Your Head, Horror Radio.
Welcome to the station of decapitation without your head. I'm Nasty Neil, and I'm joined by the writer and producers of President Evil, Gregory Wolk and Ruben Estremera. It's very cool to have you guys here.
Thanks. Yeah, glad to be here.
Yeah. So, I think really from the poster, people have an idea what this is about, but if not, can you give them like a quick idea of what President Evil is?
Yes, it's a, if people are familiar with the Halloween movies and the franchise, like the original one that with Jamie Lee Curtis, John Carpenter, 86, I believe, was that right? Yeah, that we did a parody of that film and timed it for the release of the new 2018 Halloween. But this time, instead of Michael Myers or the thing having the mask of William Shatner on there, the person was wearing the mask of Donald Trump, and he was going around killing minorities. Mm-hmm. So that sort of was written as just a parody, satirical parody, as a work of fiction. But since it's been done, I've just been seeing a lot of stuff in the news that really is hitting home. It's like, well, I didn't think it was going to be this much nonfiction, but it was written as fiction.
Mm-hmm. So did you do a short version first?
No, that short version we did was actually just a music video, just to promote the film, and it's purely comical. It's it's up online with a guy in the Trump mask, basically the same character going around town and just having a good time and just being himself and having fun with his favorite dictator, Putin. So that one is just all comedy, no satire. The movie is kind of both. It's it's funny, but it's also serious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's so many little things in the movie for both Halloween fans and for people who know what's going on today. Like the president, the evil guy has little hands, and there's so many little things. So I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen it, but it's throughout the whole movie. It's done very well.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we had a great time making the movie. There was a lot of laughter, in the movie while it was being filmed, and it was very enjoyable. With and all the actors were really having a good time with it. So, and we poked fun at just politics in general and how things have been happening for the past 2 years. Mm-hmm. If people are big fan of Trump, they may not like the movie, but the message is just, it's not Trump himself. It's just someone that is one of his cult members or one of his followers that is just upset with what's going on, and so he takes it upon himself to put on a mask and go around and terrorize people.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, people are commenting on the film. I don't know if they liked it, if they even watched it, but you could tell which ones are the Trump cult members, because they just say that's so disrespectful, and how could you have him do that? And it's like, it wasn't. It was just a guy putting on a mask. I mean, people didn't hate, the original Halloween. They didn't hate William Shatner or the Jason one. They didn't start hating hockey players because he wore a hockey mask. I mean, it just happened. And, at one point, the person wears a Ronald Reagan mask when there was a flashback or back to 1980s. So it's just whoever's at president at the moment, they always are the butt of jokes. I mean, that's just the fact of late night comedy and everything else.
And it was so easy to poke at the current president because it's a lot of crazy stuff we're saying. So
yeah, that's one thing actually when people do say. Because I saw some people on my Facebook that they never made fun of other presidents like this or whatever, and I'm like, have you ever watched like any late night shows? That's all. No matter who the president is, they make fun of him.
Right.
Yeah. When Clinton was president, that's all you heard,
Yeah, I mean, that's the reason why we have comedians out there, I mean, they should be able to have fun with it and make Americans laugh, especially around these times. We really need some laughter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they didn't, it seemed like it was kind of a dry spell during the Obama era, and maybe that's what they're referring to. And the comedians say that's only because he's cool and everything, but he's not really funny. He's not, as opposed to Clinton, Bill Clinton, he was a Democrat too. They could make fun of him left and right because he's womanizer and all this stuff. But Obama doesn't really have any kind of character flaws that you can just poke fun of and be funny about.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I tell the Republicans that say, why didn't you make fun of Obama like that? Well, he didn't give us enough material.
Right. Yeah, it wouldn't have worked. So how long have you two worked together?
Well, ever since the get-go. I mean, we've known each other for 27 years, and we creatively we started writing and getting into the film industry fairly late, just like 5 years ago. We we're getting a little tired of some of the stuff we're seeing online, on video on demand and so forth, like same stuff over and over. And we just said, why don't we get out there and make some unique films that are just original and take chances and maybe piss some people off, might shock them, might like, damn, I never saw that before. And just to make a little difference. And that's really what drove us to do it, because we were just getting bored with what we were watching online.
Mm. So were you two friends before you started to make things together?
Yes. Yeah, we've known each other for a long time, so everything, and we're still remaining friends. Actually, it's a lot better, doing this together because we have the same vision. We agree on almost everything. Now, the same doesn't go for some of the directors and other people we work with, but as far as us, we really are on the same track.
Yeah.
So how about Richard Lowry, who you co-wrote it and directed it?
Well, he had a different vision of the film than we did. So that's what I was referring to. We did, butt heads, but that's part of any creative process. And if I were Trump, then I would have fired him because I would want to only be surrounded with yes men. But
Right.
I always want people to tell me why I'm wrong and what could be better. I mean, I encourage that. So yeah, there were a few instances of that, but in the end, I think we both got what we wanted, and we were both happy with the result.
Mm-hmm. So is the finished President Evil different than what you envisioned when you were writing it?
It is, but not as much as some other films that the other three films we did last year and the year before. Mm-hmm. Those changed, and if you're a filmmaker yourself, there's that saying about how films change. There's the film, three versions of a film. There's the one that you write. There's the one that you shoot, and there's the one that you edit. And it changes a lot in those steps. It can be a completely different film, and it might end up being 75% of what you wrote. This one I'd say was, probably about 90%. A couple punchlines here and there were, changed because, when you do a read, live read right before, some things fall flat or some things are funnier than you thought, and you want to melt those. So, you have to be flexible to change it up at the last minute.
Mm-hmm. Well, you mentioned, some people, right away aren't going to like it because just they see like the poster. So, was there any worry at all that you would split the potential audience for the movie?
Yeah. There was a little bit of worry on how people were going to perceive it, but people are different and people like different things, so we weren't going to focus on being worried about that all the time. And some people like it and some people don't. I mean, our goal was to just get it out there and hopefully make people laugh or see what's going on. Yeah. And it's been pretty much, it's been that way. A lot of people have been really enjoying it. And some people, I don't even know if they even try to watch it. With the poster, they were already upset over it. So, so yeah, we were in the beginning a little bit, but then we were like, this is something we want to do, and we want to get out there and just get it out to the public.
Yeah, and I was at the beginning when we started making films, getting terrible reviews was crushing. I think everyone goes through that, but eventually you just stop paying attention to it. And then when I read about all these famous movies, I mean, the original Star Wars and everything else, Black Panther, there's 10% of the reviews are 1 star. People hated it. So it almost makes you wonder, are these just people, they just want to go against the crowd and kind of say, I'm different, or are they Russian bots? I mean, who knows? Yeah. But it's, I don't see how anybody can make it a 1 star and hated it. I mean, unless they have an axe to grind. You know, it's the people who liked it, they're giving it 3, 4, or 5. It's not like everyone's giving it 5. So you could tell it just depends on their point of view. But when someone says they hated something, like, okay, you're coming from it with already a mindset that you're not going to like it going into it.
And and it kind of reminds me of like the movie The Shining when it first came out back in late 70s. People said it wasn't good. It wasn't going to do well, and it was just a terrible movie. And it's a classic. It's a classic. So it's just one example, but it's just the way it is. It's a gamble, but you get it out there, and some are going to like it, and some are not.
Yeah.
Satisfy everyone. Yeah.
I do think that people on the internet today, which I'm on the internet, but there's it seems like they go to the very extremes of if they like a movie or if they dislike it. They just, if they don't like it, they absolutely hate it. It's the worst thing ever made. And if they like it, then they kind of, it's the greatest thing ever. It's the most scary horror movie. But it's never it's very rare where people are kind of more honest, where they kind of liked it or kind of disliked it. It's either total hatred or total love.
Yeah, that's true. It's like there's no filter, People
and when they wouldn't give that review to our face, but they would, it's all because, and that's why YouTube changed they used to have a rating kind of like Amazon 1 to 5, and they changed it just thumbs up or thumbs down, which is probably better because at the end of the day, you either like it or you don't, so, I kind of concur with that, but,
So
anyway.
The mask itself, was it like store-bought and altered, or is it like completely created?
Yeah, actually, we ordered that on Amazon. Yeah, so we saw it on Amazon, and it was fitting, and so we went and got it. And we actually, if you see the video itself, we had, like Greg mentioned earlier about the dance video or the music video we had, which is 3.5 minutes long. We have a different mask for the character in that video, which is a little bit more, I don't know, I guess something a little bit more crazier, I guess I would say, but it's not the same mask as it is in the movie. But in the movie, it really works because in the movie we had it where it has like some orange hair or just big hair, almost identical to the POTUS. And whereas in the it's like a piece that we actually added onto the mask, and then in the video it's sort of one piece. The mask comes with the hair.
But people were. Go ahead, Neil.
Well, I was just gonna say that's that has a nice connection to the original Halloween then too, because they went and bought a mask, the Shatner mask, and then altered it to so it didn't quite look like Shatner, but it's cool that it's a store-bought mask. And,
Sure. Yeah, we did that on purpose. We were thinking about making a mold and all that. I said, why? Just keep it. Then it looks like we're really trying to make it Trump instead of just somebody took one off the rack, which is what it's supposed to be. So we did have a long discussion about that, and went with just a store-bought mask.
And it does. The movie also does, I think, have some fun with people way on the left too. It's not, people think it's just totally one-sided movie.
Exactly. Yeah, we're poking fun at both, at both parties. mostly one side, but we're still throwing in some little hits there for the other side of the left. Yeah.
Yeah, because Bill Clinton was there, and Obama was there, and a few Hillary, a few other people. But it's I don't have any. Politicians are. I don't trust any of them, even Obama or if he, I think he probably was not. Well, at least he didn't lie as much to us on public that we're. Well, how many does Trump have now? Like it's probably over 6,000. At least the site that keeps track of them.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're so ridiculous. I mean, just save your lies for when you really need them. Don't just lie about stupid stuff that can be easily verified.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But we were big fans of Obama. You know, we love him as a president, and we miss him. I'm sure a lot of people on the left do as well. But he did a good service to our country.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And I mentioned the poster a few times, but the artwork is amazing. For me, I had probably the opposite effect of some people you mentioned. I saw the poster, and I was like, oh yeah, I want to watch this movie. So who did the poster?
Yeah, this is a guy named Chris Johnson. He lives in Virginia somewhere. One of those towns that in the last hurricane he had to leave for a week. You know, which hurricane was that? I forget. Maria? No. But yeah, he's done the posters for all the films, and he is just fantastic. I mean, he does a lot of posters for the big budget Hollywood movies. And we were the first guys that contacted him and said, hey, we're having, last year I said, we did something really stupid. We made 4 movies, and they all came out this year. And so the last couple of years we were filming them, editing, doing everything together. It was, I don't recommend it. So then I called this guy and said, we need 4 posters, but we can't afford to pay, the normal rate of $10,000 a poster for these big Hollywood ones. I mean, or even more. A lot of them are $25,000. And he goes, well, I can give you a deal. And he wanted to get into more helping indie people. And besides, he said, I can't make a poster like this for a Hollywood movie. They would never allow it. So I said, gives you the ability to just do whatever you want. You really, how those creative juices going. And so I think he really enjoyed that aspect of it. Mm-hmm. And this one, I think, is a favorite poster of mine that he's done.
Yeah,
it's amazing. It's fantastic.
I love the knife too. And that poster, and and we used one like that in the movie where it's actually covered with an American flag around the stabbing point of the knife.
Right. So. Yeah. Was it was it hard to cast the movie? Was there anybody who's like, oh, I don't want to be in this? Or did it probably attract people that were into it?
Yeah. It was kind of like the either people didn't want to or they did, really extreme left and right. Every movie we've done, there's been a couple people that had to drop out for whatever reasons at the end. That just happens. But on this one, after people read the script, you could tell who the Republicans were. They just said, I can't do this. My agent won't let me do this. And they said, well, we love it. We think it's hysterical, but we don't want to, stop getting jobs from half of the people out there, which is what you're saying at the beginning. Mm-hmm. So, and it's totally understandable. They were apologetic. They wish we could, but, from an actor standpoint, it's a different story. They're kind of relying on people like us from all spectrums, the political spectrum, so they can't really, if they take a stand, that's going to hurt their career. Mm-hmm. So for us, this is our own money, so this is the chance where we can basically, get anything out there creatively that we want. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was hard. I'd say Lana, the girl that played the Jamie Lee Curtis character, what was her name in the original one? It was sort of like Lana, wasn't it? No, I changed the name. Blanca? No.
Man, they put me on the spot here. I probably should know this.
Yeah. Laura, that's what it was. Laura. So I changed it to Lana, and because she's Arab, so we captured. She was the very last one. She's a lead. She was the very last one we got, like 2 days before shooting. It's like, oh my God, I was like, okay, we have to look around the country. I even talked to some women in Saudi Arabia. We were getting ready to fly them over because everyone was ready except her. And I say, okay. And thankfully, we found this girl that we had reached out to before. She goes, oh, is that still available? Yes, get over here.
Yeah. Satara is her name, the actress.
Yeah.
She was really, really good and pretty girl. And so she was, she was holding up to those, to her acting. That was really nice to see her do it. It's fun.
Yeah, and you both have small parts in the movie.
Yeah, we do. We have. Well, I play a couple of roles. Well, very small. I play the dead Scorchy. People think that it's a blow-up doll.
But it was really him.
But it was really me. I don't know if you've seen that part, but that's actually a human being. It's me.
Yeah, one of the reviews said, "I can't believe they went so cheap and just got a blow-up doll." I said, "That was him. It's a real person."
And then I also play Dr. McCabe, a dead person. So yeah, two dead bodies I play.
Yeah, I played a couple dead. I played Dr. Comey and somebody else too. I forgot, but
yeah.
Anyway,
it was fun.
It was fun, yeah.
Something.
So yeah. That's interesting though, to be confused with a blow-up doll. I don't think I've ever heard that.
Right.
Yeah. So you said that. So on your previous ones, you did all the editing and everything. So this one, you had someone else do the editing.
No, we always had someone else, but it was just a different process, a longer process, and we weren't happy with the first edits, and we kind of had to get somebody else. This time we knew what we wanted from the beginning, and we were like, it really helps when you're filming. And it's a learning experience. We admit we had to go up the learning curve. When you're filming it, you're already thinking how you're going to edit it. I didn't think like that on the first few. We just kind of filmed whatever we wanted. And then when we get to the editing room, the editor's like, well, I don't know what you wanted here. I can't make this guy jump up 2 stories or, whatever. It's like, oh, okay, that's a visual effect. It's just basic stuff that now we laugh about, like we didn't, But that's the thing, when you're watching movies, you shouldn't be thinking about how it was done. Or, to me, as a viewer, you just want to watch and be entertained. If you're sitting there thinking, well, how'd they do that? That means you're kind of bored. So it was...
So to get the movie out the same time the new Halloween came out, did you have to? Was time was it hard to get it done in time, or did you guys start a long time before?
Actually, yeah, it was a little hard, yeah, because we were trying to get it out sooner than when the original Halloween movie got released, and so. But I mean, it still turned out good. I mean, we ended up releasing a movie on the same day as the Halloween movie was released. But we were trying to get it released like a month in advance. But that didn't happen. A lot of things got in the way, schedules and more shoots and stuff like that. So it got delayed. But at the end, we were able to still get it out right on the same day that the Halloween movie was issued.
Yeah. Did you do any screenings for it, or did it go right to video on demand?
Went right to the VOD. Yeah.
Yeah, we did that. We did screenings on the other ones, and our promoters said, it's not really worth it. You don't want to wait any longer. Just get it out there, and the screening doesn't do good unless you have a lot of big name stars in it, which this doesn't. So. This has like 35 different characters, and they come and go, different scenes here and there, like 3 or 4 main ones. So there were a ton of people. Every day there were like 3 or 4 new actors we hadn't seen any of the other days. So it was a constant, in a way, it was harder than some of the other films where we just had the same people every day. But it made it more interesting in a way.
So how important is video on demand and streaming for independent movie makers?
Well, I think that's all there is, because indie films, unless they're made by, and I wouldn't even call, Michael Moore's films indie. They're not. But there's a documentary. Yeah, they're not going to go to the movie theater unless we pay for them to have a run, and then you have to promote the hell out of it, and it just doesn't pay off, especially because, it costs a lot of money. People think that you just send a movie reel or a DVD to the movie theater and they play it. No, I mean, just to rent the theater and everything else, it's so expensive. And as you know, the amount of people going to movie theaters has declined for the last 20 years, and it's going to keep declining until it's basically just a special event for people to go. And it's like, oh, we haven't been to the theater in a while. haven't been to the, so video on demand is really the only outlet for people like for independent films.
Mm-hmm.
We're good with that. It's because we can get it out to like 10, 15 different outlets at the same time, and it still has a release at the same date, and we're still able to market it and promote it the same way.
Mm-hmm. So, when you guys started making movies, you had no background in movies before that, and are you both into horror movies? Is that what you primarily make?
Yeah, I think horror is our favorite genre. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's top notch right there, horror.
Yeah,
for me especially.
And we've seen probably every horror sci-fi film that's on Amazon, Netflix, Hulu, all these outlets. We've gone through them all. So, we just wanted some more. And yeah, we didn't have any experience making films before. I've always been a writer, so I have a number of novels on Amazon that I figured, well, how about I'd like to see some of these turned into films. So that's what we did for a few of them. And this one, it was original screenplay. But
so we basically just jumped right into it. We don't have any schooling. We didn't go to school for it. We just dove into it, and the results is that we have 4 films on the platform.
Yeah, that's very cool.
We got thanks. And we got some scripts. We're working on something now. So we're just keeping it up.
Yeah. The music's great. Oh, sorry. What were you saying?
Oh yeah, it's tough, but we just enjoy it's addictive, really. Making the film is great. There's a lot of moments in it that you want to just pull your hair out.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end, it's really feels good when you get it done, and being proud of it the way it is. Yeah, and the music too. I think we've used the same composer for the last 3 films, Robert Douglas, out in LA. He's phenomenal, and I think he really pulled some, changed it up on this one because the tone changes so much on this. I didn't know how he was really going to score it. So I think he did a great job on it.
Yeah, at the end it came out pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's it has the Halloween feel to it. It's good stuff. And you mentioned the Reagan mask, which I thought was really well done. It's like the beginning of Halloween when the young Michael Myers has the jester mask and kills his sister. And what better mask than a young Trump fan to have than a Reagan mask?
Yeah, that's right. That was the last great Republican president.
Yeah, the Reagan. It was Reagan's party. Now it's Trump's party.
Yeah,
yeah.
That was apropos, and it more or less worked out with the date. The number of years that would have passed for him to be an adult. So it worked all the way around.
Yeah. Did you keep any of the props, like any of the masks or knives or anything?
We're still waiting for that stuff to be delivered to us. It's in LA right now, and it's being kept. And we're waiting for one of the producers that was on a film to send it to us.
Mm-hmm. So will it eventually be on DVD and Blu-ray?
Yeah, we're thinking about doing that now. They always say to wait a little while before you put it on there. So we're gonna get it on there probably early part of next year.
Okay, very cool. And any chance of a sequel?
Well, we had one planned, but we're going to have to see because we're working on. We're already in the middle of a shoot for a new feature. So we're kind of going crazy here on a new one, and we have another one planned for April out in LA.
Yeah, we actually tossed it around if we were going to have a sequel, but we're not really sure now. It almost seems like this would be it. It kind of feels like this might be the one movie. I don't think people are pretty much tired of seeing what's going on in real time.
Right.
So to actually see another sequel, it'd be okay. Well, we already seen this before.
Yeah.
So we thought maybe just this one, it's probably going to just do it.
Yeah, because we're always trying to be original, and if we just copying our own. And the film itself is a parody of another film of Halloween. So to make a sequel to us is like a sequel to a parody. It's kind of, it's fun. I think we put a lot of twists on it. We made sure that, that we put our own stamp on it. But, there's so much new stuff out there to make. And,
more ideas that we're tossing around and getting together.
Yeah, people send us scripts all the time or ideas. And since I started as a writer, I really empathize with people. When you write something and it becomes part of you. It's like you're pregnant with this child that you've carried for so long and you want it to be born. And so it's very frustrating to people. They want to get their movie made. So we're considering some of these, but it's tough, You
could go Halloween 3 route, and then it would be and you just don't even have the president in it. It's just crazy.
Remind me what Halloween 3 was.
Season of the Witch. It's the one without Michael Myers, and they have it's just a very bizarre mask that little kids put on, and like worms pop out of their eyes.
Oh, that's the one with the little girl, I think, right?
Yeah, it's a one with no Michael Myers. The only Halloween without Michael Myers.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
But that, I don't know. People want to see Michael Myers.
Yeah, it was just. I like the movie, but you kind of just got to watch it as its own movie, not as part of the Halloween franchise.
Yeah, that's important. I think so many people nowadays, and us included, everyone, we look at something and we think, oh, that's not the movie we would have made. It's like, quit watching something and thinking how we would do it differently. Just watch it and enjoy for how somebody else did it, and say, why didn't they do that? So I think that there's a tendency to do that too often. Just, okay, they took it in a direction that I might not have, but it worked. A movie can work. It can go in a million different directions and still work. So, so that was, so I think as we're talking live about it right now, Ruben's pretty much convinced me we're not doing a sequel to this.
All right. Well, I hate to have killed off the sequel here on the show. So, what can you say anything about the movie you're working on, or is it not far enough along?
Well, it's another horror film. Not like Resident Evil. It's different. It's a different type of horror film.
It's not political. I think we're going to stay away from the political arena a little bit right now, just because, it does get kind of exhausting when you get 20 emails every day of people saying they want to hurt you and they want to kill you. I mean, we've gotten thousands of threats from people. So it's really not. I mean, we laugh it off now, but it's really not funny. It's kind of really sad what's happening to the country, that people can see just something that's meant to be just light and fluffy and just a piece of art, creative, and they take it like you're making fun of their daughter or their wife. It's really
well, they don't know where we live, so we're good.
Our attorney said make sure you remove your contact information everywhere.
Sorry to laugh about that, but like you said,
no, that's fine. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, some people are going to be that way, and others are going to be like, hey, we want to see more. So we're going to make more movies.
Yeah. I think that's something, eventually you can brag about. Hey, we made a horror movie and we got death threats over it.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And I would assume most of them are, just people that have no actual intention of doing it, but who knows anymore.
Yeah.
So where can you see Resident Evil now? On all the platforms?
Yeah, it's on, Amazon's the number one, and it's on like 7 or 8 other ones, but some horror platforms, I don't really know their names. It's not on Netflix yet. We're talking to them, but they, to be frank, they pay the worst. So, for an indie filmmaker, you might as well just pay them to show a movie. It doesn't make any sense. I know it has like sort of appeal, like, oh, it's on Netflix, and but it just doesn't make financial sense. So, Amazon is our, platform of choice.
Yeah, it's the main platform here in the States, but it's playing in different platforms around the world, actually, mostly in Europe, and there are different platforms that they have out there. But yeah, Amazon Prime would be the choice here in the States.
Yeah, UK, the people in UK are loving it almost more than the ones here.
Right.
I was going to ask that. How do people accept it in other countries? And I have a lot. Yeah, I have a lot of friends in the UK, and I would assume they would be into it.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty funny how they have like these little discussions, and then they actually post all these discussions on social media on how they're rating the film and how they find it so amusing, and they haven't seen anything like this, and they're giving it 5 stars, and it's refreshing. It's like, oh, that's great. We have allies, in other parts of the world that enjoy what we're making.
Yeah.
So not a single negative review from someone in UK. So that kind of tells you if they're all from here. I mean, there's not a lot of objectivity going on in the reviewing process. So, yeah, it's just people could see the film with an open mind. I mean, it's not Black Panther, of course. I mean, we didn't have $200 million to spend, but we did a really good job with everyone on the film. Was just spectacular. The actors, the editor, the composer, the poster guy. I mean, I just think they were all inspired by the fact that this was a movie that nobody else would make. In fact, about 5 marketing promotion firms would not accept this. They turned it down and said, "Oh no, we would have to hire bodyguards and everything else." Oh, come on, is that it's not that bad? But I guess it is.
That's crazy. This guy's surprised, because I think most people think of people in the arts and movies as that they're all liberal, but I guess that's not true.
No, that's not true. I mean,
probably most of them, but I mean, there's a few. Well, we know Clint Eastwood's a big Republican.
Right.
He likes to talk to empty chairs and pretend that Obama's in them, and things like that. But the thing we find out about Republicans is they just don't have a sense of humor. It's like, come on, I laugh at stuff when they make jokes about Democrats all the time, but they just seem unable to laugh at themselves. I don't understand it. Even they admit it. The Republicans that I know admit we just can't, and they don't know why. Maybe your therapist would.
I will admit we have a very conservative, one of our loyal listeners, Vic Giovanni, his name, he's listening right now, and he was interested in the show, and he thought the idea of this movie was funny, so I put him over. He's a good guy, Vic.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Even if I'd have won. Yeah, he's the one good one. No.
He's the one good one, yeah. And and they're out there. They're out there. We know that they're out there. There's quite a few. There's a few quiet Republicans that are good. We wish they would voice a little bit more, but that's okay.
That's
we know there's some of them out there.
Yeah, I just wish we would get rid of these stupid parties altogether. And just there's 5 people, and this is what they stand for. Why do we have to lump them into that one or that one? It's just people don't conveniently get lumped in one or the other. I mean, there's 1 or 2 things that I might agree with on Trump, that he says. I mean, out of thousands, but I don't hate everything he does, and I don't know. I just think the party system, makes it difficult. But
I agree. It's just become Republican versus Democrat as opposed to, because a normal person might have your conservative views on certain things and liberal views on something else. It's not like you're just this or you're this, and then you hate this side, and it's
right.
It
just seems like it just seems like like Greg said, that there's 2 things that he says that they sound okay, but he gets influenced too much by evangelicals. Evangelicals are really trying to change things, and it seems that that's what we see a lot and read about, is that the evangelicals are really enforcing a lot of the stuff that's going on in this country. So they're kind of like in his ear about what they want done.
Yeah, that's not to get too political, but that's the theme of the film. But yeah, we read a lot of bad stuff and every day, and we stay abreast on the issues. And really, the theme of the message of the movie is, vote. I don't care who you're voting for, really, as much as that you just take that action. If 100% of all the voting public voted, we'd have a more representative government. But when only half of the people are voting, it's you get what we have now.
Right. Yeah. So where can you follow President Evil, like online, to find out where you can get it and any news about it?
Okay. Yeah, we have a Facebook page, President Evil Movie, and that's pretty much it. There's we have a website for our film company, our production company called Giant Meteor Films. We have a website, and that has a lot of trailers and stills and articles. And if you just Google President Evil Movie, you see a lot of the reviews and different things that people have done. And although it's so close to the Resident Evil, I mean that's why we got the name.
Sure.
From the movie Resident Evil of President. Yeah. It was too good. It was too good not to name the movie after.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, but your viewers can, or your listeners can go on Facebook and they can look up President Evil or Giant Meteor Films, and it'll come right up.
Yeah, and on there you can send messages to the page, which we'll look at, and if you want to send us another death threat, you can do that. Or if you want to say you like the film, it would be nice.
Right. If you want to rate the film, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if this would help sell DVDs, Blu-rays. But when you do put them out, I would actually put like one of the, or maybe a couple like of the better death threats on the back of the cover. So it's like one person, this movie's great, so and so website, and another one is like, I want to kill you or whatever.
Yeah,
maybe not put their actual name on there, but yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely an interesting marketing angle. I think actually that would work.
It is.
I think it would, yeah. Well, it was really fun to talk to both of you, and I dug the movie, and our Jason, who does our written reviews on the website, really liked it and gave it a strong review.
Thank you.
Right, thank you. Yeah, it was very nice talking with you too, Neil.
Yeah, appreciate being on this call, and thanks for having us.
Yep. And sorry it was delayed. I was sick a few weeks ago, but I'm doing well now. So
you're good.
Yeah.
Complete recovery, or are you just on your way?
I have to get surgery to fix. I have this is a long story. 2 years ago, I had intensive surgery. I had 14 inches of my colon removed, and it was a long recovery from that. And now 2 years later, I have hernias where the incisions were from the operation, but. From what I understand, it's going to be easily fixed. So.
Oh, great! Sorry to hear about that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Feel better and enjoy life. Enjoy it.
Yeah, it's good.
Thanks very much. It's great to have you guys, and hope people check out President Evil.
Thank you.
Thanks, Neil.
Thanks.
Take care.
Thanks. Bye.
Hey, everyone. This is John Franklin, and you're listening to Without Your Head.